people, friends, society, or churches, or whatever the case may be, and somebody that doesn't. And why is that important? Because, you know, a lot of what Randy and Jordan started sharing and talking with you guys about is part of what goes on when somebody paroles and has difficulty getting a job, has difficulty finding somewhere to live. Why? Because they're a felon or an ex-offender. So it really does encompass a lot of different areas of someone's life beyond just, I'm having difficulty getting a job because I'm an ex-offender or because I have a felony on my jacket. So, you know, when somebody leaves prison, they call it collateral consequences. All the different things that somebody has to go through. And then here's the thing. Currently, there are no laws that you go to court, and there are no laws that require a judge or a district attorney or even a defense attorney to inform someone what the other consequences are of pleading guilty or even just a guilty verdict of a case. So a lot of times they will tell you you have the right to appeal, this is how much time you're going to be doing, this is where you'll be going, etc. But they don't tell you that, hey, after you get out of prison, these are all the challenges that you're going to face. These are all the obstacles that you're going to be up against. So that's one of the, and the other thing is, there's a lot of people in the criminal justice system right now that don't even know what those are. They don't know, it's because it's a wide range of consequences, and they don't know what they are. So, part of getting this change, and part of the consequences of being an ex-offender is the disenfranchisement that someone feels. So when you're out, well, when we are out here, and we are facing some of the different challenges and obstacles that we're facing, it creates this feeling of not being the same as everybody else. And when you feel that way, it feels like you're being pushed out to the outskirts of society. Why is this important? So, in psychological studies, they have a thing, it's called the rule of expectations. So the rule of expectations uses influence and reality to create results. So how does that work? Individuals tend to make decisions based on how others treat them and expect them to perform. People rise to meet your expectations of them. This is a powerful force that can either help someone or destroy someone. So when you're around people, whether it be a supervisor, family, friends, teachers, those were the studies were done, and your teachers or your family members or your friends or your supervisors tend to make you feel like they believe in you, like you can do more than what you are, you tend to rise to that expectation. But when they treat you less than what you are and make you feel that you are less than what you are, you tend to lower yourself to that expectation also. So when we as individuals are paroling from prison and we're coming out here into this society and trying to get jobs, trying to make a legitimate living for ourselves, trying to be a part of our community, trying to find housing, trying to do all these things that we're trying to do, and society or our neighbors or our community is making us feel less than, what happens to that individual who's already struggling because they can't pay the bills, because they can't do these things? It's that rule of expectations. They begin to feel as though the way society is treating them, the way society is making them feel. So it is important for us to try to change that aspect. So there's other reasons outside of just, hey, let's make a law that makes it illegal to use a felony against someone when they get a job. It really does affect a person's life and their thinking. Johann Wolfgang van Goethe, he wrote, "If I accept you as you are, I will make you worse. However, if I treat you as though you are capable of becoming, I will help you to become that." So the other misconception about parolees violating is that they want to, or that they don't care, and that that's the reason why they violate. I can't explain why Randy went to prison so many different times, but for everybody else, aside from Randy, a lot of times it's the difficulties that they're facing that cause them to go back. Because, you know, it's well known, everybody says, well, hey, you know, most guys will go back to what they know. And for a lot of us, what we know is coming up the easy way. whether it's using the torch that they taught Randy how to use, picking a lock, stealing, or selling drugs. And when you're out there trying and trying every day to get a job, and Jordan described it, he couldn't get a job parking a car, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Sometimes, and I tip my hat to him, but sometimes guys get frustrated and they say, you know what, I'll just make money another way. I know how. I'll take care of myself. Nobody else wants to give me a chance to do this. I'll just do it myself and take it into my own hands. And it's difficult because you have wives, you have girlfriends, you have kids that you're trying to feed and take care of. And it just doesn't work sometimes with $9 an hour, or part-time jobs. So Randy described a little bit of it earlier, so I just wanted to touch on a little bit of, I just wanted to add to what Randy was sharing in terms of why we're here. So part of it is to create a network system. And that network system is for work opportunities. Ideally, what we would like to do is to create some type of network system that starts, yes, with the people that we have in this room right now, but that expands, ideally, so that if people are in one area, if there's somebody in Randy's area that knows Randy and that knows of somebody who just got out and needs a work opportunity, they can contact Randy or somebody else that's in this network system and say, hey, I know this guy named Tom that just paroled and he needs help. What can we do? Where can we get him? We have a list of businesses or people that give help to prisoners or ex-offenders, or we have a list of businesses that hire ex-offenders. And it's not, Jordan talked about the businesses that he created, but there's lots of other ones. Home Depot does not ask you about your felonies, and neither does Costco. So, go ahead, brother.
Not to interrupt you or anything, but a while back I applied at Home Depot, and they did your analysis of background check, and my background came back, and they said no, they didn't hire me.
But on the job applications, they don't ask you. On the job applications, they don't ask you if you have a felony. You can go through the whole process, and they don't ask you. But, that is one other part of it right there. The other thing, so that's ideally, that's part of what, long-term what we'd like to do is to create a network that. So we need to, they're passed around the paper right now for emails, contact information. That's where it's going to start. Randy and I were discussing some other methods, and, he talked about using stamp and paper. For guys in prison, that's all they have. But that's an excellent resource, because who better to, as I was sharing with Randy, who better to contact in terms of having people out here who want to support the kind of work that we're doing than the guys and the women that are in there. So, so ideally somewhere along the line, that's what we would do, is a mass mailing with guys that are in prison and let them know, hey, here's a movement that we're trying to start, here's a network that we're trying to create. Let your family members know, give them this email, give them this website, give them this Facebook site, give them Jordan's number, do whatever you're going to do, and then help create this network system so that it grows. And not just here, so that it grows throughout the state of California, and then onwards from there. So the other part that we can continue to do also is to spread the word. Spread the word about this need for a change. Spread the word about some of the difficulties that guys face and some of the different challenges. And so ideally the purpose of that is just to create awareness. But that's the way it starts for everything. This is a civil liberties movement. That's really what it is. You can go back X amount of years to a point where women couldn't vote. You can go back even less than that to where if you were black, you had to sit at the back of the bus. Jordan still treats me that way sometimes, but those were movements that were people just like us. It was a group segment. They weren't being treated the same by society. And the movement had to start, and it took them a long time to get to where they were and to where they are now. And so, at one time, women couldn't vote, women couldn't do this, and the movement was created, saying, hey, we are part of society, and we need to be treated equally by everybody else. And then the movement was created, and it affected change. And it didn't happen overnight. The same thing with, like I said, if you were black. They were treated differently than everybody else. There's lots of examples in our history, and even in our recent history, where segments or grouped segments in society were not being treated the same by others, and a movement was started, and it started something very similar to like what's happening right now. Thanks to our leader, Jordan. So let me end by saying this. So these laws and these restrictions and some of these other things that are happening that guys like us face, they're going to continue for right now. They might continue for a year. They might even continue for 5 years. And Randy used the number 10. It might take 10 years. We don't know. What can we do in the meanwhile? Support each other. Network so that we can begin to find these avenues of support for each other, these work opportunities. And then the other part is we just have to continue to do our job, which is we want to be treated as regular law-abiding citizens, then we have to act as regular law-abiding citizens. So that's the other part that we have to do, that we can do our part to try to affect this change. And then just continue to support each other along the way. Thank you, guys.
Jesse, you want to speak a little bit? Yeah.
You want to read my Bible? That's my sword, man. I tell guys in prison, man, I'm going to stick you today, man. What? I'm going to shank you with God's word. Right? The Bible is a two-edged sword. Filero. My name is Jesus, or Jesse, a.k.a., right, Gordo. But I got out of prison in 1999. That was my release date. And when I did a little bit less than 2 years. But what was interesting that I had to get locked up to be set free. Huh? Can you guys relate?
Come on now.
We had to go to prison to get set free. In Jesus, amen. And God taught me something there, you know. He spoke to my heart when I went to Tracy, then I went to Pleasant Valley, and nothing pleasant about that place. It gets hot, you got crickets, you get foggy, you know, and then some of the R's, it was, even though it's level 3, you can sense that tension. Right? You know, hey, something's going to go down here. You can just feel it. And that's the way it was when I got there. And I was in level 1, they stepped in the level 3 yard, and things were popping up, and I go, oh man, Lord, how we through this one, you know. But I had been backslid, and God touched my heart and started working with me in prison. That's why I can say I had to get locked up to be set free. And God spoke to my heart to go back to prison. I used to tell guys, I'm going back to prison, man. Oh, no, don't talk like that, brother. Come on. No, man, it's not to come back to do time. I'm going to come back because God's going to use me to share His word. Amen? See, God gives you a desire in your heart. He stirs you. You know, so when I got out in November, the end of November 99, yeah, I started going to Calvary Chapel in Salinas, and they just barely started the youth detention center, right? And you need people to go in. I'm still on parole. I asked if I could go. And the director that was there used to be a counselor at juvenile hall when I used to go. I went to juvenile hall about 24 times. So this guy remembered me. And the doors are open, I'm on parole, I get to go to youth center. Usually you're on probation parole. You don't get to go back like that, you know. And God opened those doors. As time went on, you know, I ended up getting to go up to prison again. I could go to Soldat, you know, just about every week sometimes. But, you know, the thing is, one thing that I noticed when guys come out, I was a home director as well for post-prison ministry, guys getting out. One thing that I encourage you to encourage anybody coming out of prison is to get accountable, be accountable to somebody. Because that's where the enemy comes, nobody's watching, I don't trip, it's okay. Next thing you know, blam, and Satan's getting a hold of them again. But when we learn to be accountable, you know, first to the Lord off top, but somebody that we have a relationship we can trust and get encouragement. Be accountable to them and encourage other individuals to be accountable to somebody. Because that's a great tool that I've learned that's helped people to stay out. I worked at the parole office. It's interesting. I was a parolee, got released, got ex-parolee. And I got a job as community resource coordinator for the PAC meetings, you know. And when I was there, it's like God opened up doors for me to have to be that bridge between parole agents and the parolees, right? Because a lot of times, oh man, all my parole agent wants to do is dog me, man. He just wants to send me back. And a lot of times, parole agents, oh, that guy, he doesn't want to do nothing, but he's ready to go back. And by God's grace, I was able to get to know some of those parole agents. Even some were my parole agents at one time, you know. They tripped out, hey, what are you doing? You just got back, man. You know, I work here. What? They went to go check, and oh, you do work here. You know, they thought I was running around the parole office without no supervision, you know. and they were like, but God started changing, because some of these parole agents were like, oh, yeah, we're waiting for this guy to slip. Right? But by God's grace, you know, he kept me accountable. Amen. And then what happened was,